JonJonTheWise here. Got another video for you guys. Another live chat. Let me just roll up these windows. Hope you guys are doing well. This is a terrible angle. I don't know where to put it. Should I put it here? Oh shit. Will it hang? No, this is not gonna work. Whatever. I'm just gonna hold it. All right, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for the support. Before we start, make sure you guys go to that go to that Discord community. The link is in the description below. It's a Discord community of Cyberpunk fans just like you. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the podcast Tabletop Cyberpunk, which I forgot to bring my recording equipment, so I apologize to my podcast listeners. And if you guys want to support the Patreon is the best way to support the channel. What's up, Jimmy? Love you, buddy. Good to see you. The best way to support the podcast, the show, the channel, and Under the Crimson Sky. What's up, Andy? Good to see you, buddy. Is to go to that Patreon, patreon.com/JonJonTheWise. That is the best way to support me. I'm telling you, that money is going to go straight to getting XLR microphone. Like, I already have a list of stuff that I want to buy with that money. So whatever you guys can offer up, I will take it, and we will make the show better. Speaking of Under the Crimson Sky, sub to Patreon, support the beard. Yes, support the beard. Speaking of Under the Crimson Sky, I fully edited. Everything is ready to go. I uploaded it. If you're part of the Patreon, then you have access to the first episode. Also, my patrons, a lot of you guys haven't seen. There's actually 2 exclusive Patreon episodes. There's session 0 and then 0.5. 0.5, we get more into like why the characters are in the setting, why they're there, how they got there. And there's also a little bit of role play to kind of introduce them. Jimmy says, what specific XLR mics are you trying to get? I actually haven't figured that out yet. One of our players, F150, aka Dustin, he's like a legitimate professional audio engineer and musician. He does like movie scores and stuff like that. So whatever he tells me to buy, I'm just gonna buy it. And go with his advice. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. He's going to try to help me out in that department. Raven, thanks, John. No, thank you. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Thank you so much. So yeah, there's 2 episodes on the Patreon that are exclusive. Session 0 and 0.5. They're already released. Make sure you guys go check that out. And now session 1 of Under the Crimson Sky is on the Patreon as well. This is legitimately the first episode. So if you guys if you want access to it, it's on the Patreon right now. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, it'll be public for everybody else's consumption. So as far as it goes, the episode, I'm not as happy with the result as I wanted to be. The quality is not as good. But let me tell you guys how it went down. We showed up to Paris's house, aka Binary Dragon, and I showed up early. We were setting up microphones and cameras and everything, and like 2.5 hours later, we were still not fully set up. Like, things were not the way we wanted it to be, and we basically just said, look, man, we're here ready to play, so let's just work with whatever we got and let's just actually play. And that's what you see in episode 1. When that episode starts, we had literally sat around for like 2.5 hours trying to figure out microphones and cameras and software and all that other bullshit. So I apologize about the quality of the audio and video. We're obviously going to be working on making it better in the future. It's just inevitable. Inevitably, it's going to be like perfect, like everything's going to be the way we want it to be. So yeah, the next one, I'm way more optimistic about it. We're going to do like testing and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's all it is. What's going to be released? I'm kind of lost. Well, CC Monkey, if you're not aware of what Under the Crimson Sky is, this is not like an official Cyberpunk Red release or anything like that. So I'm sorry about the clickbait. I just realized the title is very clickbait. That's not what that's not my intention at all. I'm releasing a actual play, an in-person actual play tomorrow. It is episode 1. It's me and a bunch of other Cyberpunk lovers playing Cyberpunk Red in person with cameras and microphones and everything. It's called Under the Crimson Sky, and that's releasing. The first episode is releasing tomorrow, so that's what the release thing is. There's no like official Cyberpunk release from Artel Sorian or anything like that. I'm very sorry about that misconception. I didn't mean to get anybody's hopes up or anything about that. I'm just talking about something that I'm excited about, that I'm personally doing for my channel. So yeah, that's happening tomorrow morning. If you're part of the Patreon, then you already have access to it. So just go straight to patreon.com/JonJonTheWise, and you actually have 3 videos that you have access to: session 0, 0.5, and session 1, which is up. Can you donate through Patreon? Yeah, whatever. If you want to donate, Patreon is the way to do. If you want to like donate extra, I don't know. I guess I should get some kind of PayPal going on, shouldn't I? Huh? But yeah, I'm not I'm happy with just whatever people can donate on Patreon. You know, that's good enough. Jimmy, you've done enough. You're my buddy. I appreciate the love and support, man. But yeah, that's it. It took us like 2.5 hours just to get set up, and you know how it is, man. You guys, we all know how it is. We just want to play. And that's exactly what happened. We were like, look, whatever we got, we have 1 audio track, 2 video feeds that are low quality because we couldn't figure out how to do multiple video feeds. But hopefully we're going to fix all that bullshit by May 2nd. The first Monday of May, I believe, is when we're going to be playing again. So there's all that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoy the first episode. It's really fun. I'm loving the dynamic between everybody. I think everybody is there a synopsis for the game? Yeah, sure. I'll give you a little synopsis. So the game takes place in the Amber Oasis, which is I'm sorry, not the Amber Oasis. The game takes place in Texas, in a place called the Devil's Triangle. The Devil's Triangle is Dallas, Houston, and Austin. If you look at those 3 points, it kind of makes like a triangle. And that basically is like, and the surrounding cities and that whole area is a triangle, and they all work together to basically support each other after this last corporate war that happened in Cyberpunk Red. The year is 2045 or 2046. And that's the community that's going on. The only reason that all those cities can survive is because of a nomad family called the Amber Connection that have a nomad encampment smack dab in the middle of that triangle in real life Kosse, Texas, Kosse, Texas. That nomad camp is called the Amber Oasis, and it has everything. I mean, if you're coming from like overseas, out of state, or you just need a place to lay low and find a job, that's the place. It's a central hub for everybody. That nomad family, the Amber Connection, they're responsible for helping trade happen throughout all 3 cities. They get people food, they get people supplies, they get people weapons, and they protect communities as much as they can along their trade route. They have kind of like a trade route going on. So that's the setting. The players are within that setting. Jimmy says, are you incorporating it into the existing game you have, like same time frame and or universe? Yeah, for sure. Sam Ectoplasm exists in the Amber Oasis, buddy. Don't worry. He's in this world. Amber Oasis is also the home of the greatest rocker boy alive right now, even though the Oasis is mad at him currently. Yeah, Sam Ectoplasm exists in this universe. Any of my Patreon folks, you guys have helped me test out this setting. You guys have helped me test out a lot of stuff, my open road mechanic and stuff like that. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have the confidence I have going into this game. I'm literally like, yeah, let's play, man. I got everything right here. You know, everything is like ready to go. I can use it at any time in my head. So you guys really helped me out in testing that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the situation. We're in the Amber Oasis. I have like all kinds of story arcs and stuff ready to go for the characters, but I wanted to keep it easy and light. So the first few episodes are just going to be them doing like general exploration kind of stuff, general interacting with the setting and the world, kind of familiarizing themselves with it, and I'm sprinkling in some plot points and character development and stuff like that. So stay tuned for all that. Enjoy it. I really, as a game master, um, there's like multiple levels to this, right? Like I'm a content creator, so I want to make sure the content is good, but I'm also a game master, so I want to make sure that my players dynamic is good. So I set them up for success is what I did. I made sure that the situation that they're in is easy, it's easy to understand, it's easy to accomplish. It's not about whether they can or can't accomplish it. It's about what happens between them accomplishing their goal. So their current goal within our campaign right now is the Oasis basically hired them out as mercenaries, as runners, and said, hey, we can't always patrol our trade route ourselves. So we hire out contractors to go patrol the trade route and the surrounding area and give us information. Like, we need information. We need to know if there's a roadblock. We need to know if a booster gang is like, trying to murder people or kidnap people, stuff like that. So all those things are really important, and it's important for you to know all those things if you have a nomad encampment and you have a trade route. So they hire out people like the players all the time, and that's what's going on. They basically tell them, all right, you guys head east. We haven't headed east in a while to check things out. You guys go check things out. Come back with any information that's worth having, we'll pay you. So if you come back empty-handed, at least have some kind of information that is helpful. Like, there's a nomad encampment, or sorry, there's a booster gang road blockade, 60 miles east of here on the main road. It just popped up. We got into a fight with them. There was too many of them, so we had to run away, but they are still there. The Oasis will take that information and go, okay, let's mount up. Let's get enough security forces to go over there and clean it up. And here's your money. Here's you getting paid. Thank you for keeping our trade route safe. So that's the situation. Easy to understand, easy to follow. But the real fun of it is their interactions and how they solve problems that I give them and how they interact with each other. And we get to learn about their characters and their personalities. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. We have a good dynamic with each other. There's like two, Arnog is in the group. So if you guys know Arnog from any of my past videos, he's a character. He's a unique individual. There isn't anyone like him in the world. And it's Arnog full blast in this thing. There's no filter. I did have to edit some dumb things that he said, but it was just dumb because, not because like I'm trying to save my ass or anything like that. It was just like him just saying stupid bullshit that didn't really add to the story, and kind of like the pacing is important. When you're editing, pacing is important. So I just had to make sure that the pacing is important. Sometimes he would like interrupt to say something and it's funny, whatever, and then we would just move on. So I edited out some of that stuff. Some of it I kept in because I thought it was enjoyable. But either way, it's Arnog full blast, all right? It's Paris full blast from No Latency. He's an amazing individual. The British accent really helps for us dumb Americans that think that it's really cool and interesting. He literally said, like, I got hired at my job because of my accent. He works at, like, well, I shouldn't dox him. Never mind. But yeah, he got hired at his job because of his British accent, because we're just so dumb. We hear the British accent and we're like, yeah, this guy's smarter than me. So anyway, which I'm sure he is anyway. But anyway, there's that. Then the other two players are brothers. One is Garrett. He owns the game shop that's by my house. That is basically my home away from home. Green Tower Games. He's also a sponsor of the show. And his brother was actually watching the store. And I guess his brother is like an ex-nerd. not an ex nerd, but like wasn't really into it as much as he used to be because of life and stuff like that. And Garrett got sick for a little bit, so he couldn't watch the shop. So the brother was like, "All right, I'll come by and I'll watch the shop for you while you get better." And that's exactly what he did, and that's how I met him. And he said, "Dude, I'm down to play Cyberpunk if you got space for me." So I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah! If you're Garrett's brother, then you're invited, dude." You know what I mean? So it's a really natural, good vibe with the group. So I'm excited about that. I think that dynamic is what is going to keep us fresh and cool. And even though the audio and video is not on point, the first episode is still really enjoyable, I think. So, the next episode, I promise you, is going to be light years better, way better. I'm going to do testing and all kinds of stuff to make sure all that stuff is working great. So, yeah, we'll do all that. But, I also just want to thank you guys so much for your support on the Patreon and everything. I know you guys have been waiting for something like this. Jesus Christ. I don't want to dox one of my workers here. All right, never mind. There we go. Anyway, that's the situation. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I'm excited. I can't wait to play again. Like, it's literally like one of the most fun I've ever had is sitting down, playing with your buddies face to face. There's nothing better than that. You know what I mean? I love the Zoom, the Roll20, all that shit. And I know there's, countless videos and even every day there's like a new channel that does a Cyberpunk Red actual play with a bunch of talking heads and stuff like that. That's cool, man. I think that obviously we live in a new age where that's just how people play the games now. But for me, the best way to play is to be in person, looking at each other, interacting with each other. There's even times where we like talk over each other and it somehow settles down and there's like side conversations that happen. And even though it doesn't like sound that good, audio wise or visually, it doesn't like feel that good. It's so much better than that awkward, like, "Oh no, you talk. No, 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 you talk." Like, "No, you talk." I hate that dynamic whenever we're on Zoom or Discord or whatever. That just like it's like an awkward interaction. It's not how human beings interact with each other. And playing in person is superior, period. That's all I have to say about that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now the thing is, like, how do you capture that? How do you capture that? Obviously, we all know what Critical Role is. We all know what it is, and that, looking at it, that's like, okay, that's the pinnacle. That's something that people should be striving for. That's something I'm striving for. It's the example that I bring up. I don't really watch Critical Role all that much. I know people love it. But I do want to provide a product similar to that. I want it to be that good, on that level, basically. And even though there's no actual money in it or anything like that, I don't even think Critical Role really made any money in the beginning either. I think they were just doing it for fun. If you see like their first few episodes, I think my first episode is probably better than their first episode. If we look back, they had like way shittier mics than me. But look at them now, man. They have their own show on Amazon Prime. They're a household name. And I think I saw like some kind of thing where like they were the highest paid content creator on Twitch, like millions of dollars or something like that. So fuck, man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Which is crazy. It's like they make a show about D&D, and I think they're making more than like any of the people that work on D&D, other than like Hasbro or Mattel. Is it Hasbro or Mattel? Whichever one owns them. Wizards of the Coast. Any of those like guys in suits probably make like comparable amounts of money. But these guys are like voice actors that just love to play the game, and they're making more money than most people that worked on the game itself. I always think that's like a really crazy dynamic where you make a game and then people go play your game and they make more money than you do playing your game. How cool is that? But yeah, sorry, I'm just making. I don't want anyone to see other people. They didn't ask to be on camera, So I'm trying not to dox anybody. But yeah, anyway, that's the situation. That's the goal. Um, obviously, with all that kind of thought and mentality, there's the idea like, oh, there's money to be made, but I'm not really focusing on that. Nobody asked me to do this. Nobody was like, hey, you should do like a critical role of Cyberpunk. I think honestly, people were like, I don't think anyone's going to do it. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be me or Rob from Cyber Nation. I think I'm assuming. I don't think anybody else. The only other people that did it were like what is it called? Rocket Dice, Rocket Adrift. I don't know. I forgot what they're called. But they basically did like a one shot or a two shot, and that was it. So they were like, yeah, Cyberpunk, it's a new flavor of the month. Let's taste it. Okay, we're done. But I'm like, you know me, I'm a diehard Cyberpunk fan. I love Cyberpunk, and I want to offer a good product for fans of Cyberpunk. I think you guys deserve it. It's a positive community. It's an amazing community. I've had nothing but positivity since day one. And why not, man? Why not just try to do the best that I could do and offer the best product that I can, obviously it's not going to be at the level of like the major professionals that have multiple producers and cameramen and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think I need all that stuff to give like a pretty good product, And I'm actually aiming to grow the community with this. I want more people to see it. I think there's a lot of people out there that like Cyberpunk, but they don't see enough content out there to entice them, or they just don't like want to get into like a new game, you know what I mean? But if they see something fun like the way Androids and Aliens got people into Starfinder, the way that Critical Role got people into D&D, why can't Under the Crimson Sky get people into Cyberpunk? You know what I mean? Maybe Arnog's crazy attitude will intrigue people and they'll be like, man, you could act like that in this game? That's fucking cool. Or, the various mechanics, homebrew stuff. I threw homebrew stuff in there. I mean, we just go straight into homebrew stuff in episode 1 because that's how you play Cyberpunk, in my opinion. You can play rules as written all you want and just focus on the rules. I know James does. Obviously, he wrote the game. So James Hutt is like, yeah, I go rules as written. He wrote the fucking game, obviously. So everything is homebrew for him. But for me, I like to add my own stuff, and I've even subjected James to my own homebrew stuff. He's like, what the fuck is this? And, but yeah, I get straight into it. I do homebrew stuff. I do my luck check that is not in the core rulebook. And I also added my open road mechanic, which is it's basically for every 30 minutes of travel that we do in a vehicle on the road, we roll on this chart that I made up. It's a D10 chart, and regarding whatever result you get, every 30 minutes of travel, you roll on the D10 chart, and then things happen. Could be an ambush. You could discover something. If you discover something, there's a separate chart for discovery, and that's basically what we did. We went straight into homebrew right away when we started our game. So I hope you guys enjoy that. It's going to be fun throughout the campaign. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. Did I lose? My screen went dark. Hot. Oh, yeah. That's what's going on. All right. So before my phone dies, if you guys have any questions about Under the Crimson Sky or anything, feel free to ask me in chat. I'm happy to answer any questions, any concerns, any ideas that you guys have, any suggestions. Also, if you guys want access to the first episode, it's available right now on Patreon, patreon.com/JonJonTheWise. For as low as $5 a month, you not only support our show and make it better and give us, production value, but you also get exclusive access to stuff like artwork and exclusive access, first access to videos and stuff like that before anybody else. So, that's the best way to support. I really appreciate it. And it's out there if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, other than that, man, tomorrow morning it will be released. I'm nervous. All right. I think I'm live again.